Hey everyone, it's Unpopular here, and I'm here to get in trouble today. You know by the title of this video that I'm talking about my unpopular bullet journaling opinions. I don't know, I thought it would be fun. I'm not trying to start hate. I'm not trying to start a big fight. I just thought it would be funny to talk about some things in the planner/bullet journaling community that I think are, I don't know, weird. But like, I guess other people are totally fine by. I don't know. So I just thought it would be fun. So I have a whole list on a sticky note over here about things that are big things in the planner community that I find, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm gonna sip my coffee because, tea, why? I probably just started the drama right there. Again, this is not me trying to cause drama. This is just like, I don't know, a fun video. So the first one is a brand. So I'm super sorry in advance for anyone that is like this brand loyalist. But the Moleskine 1917 and the Moleskine notebooks, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I know that people aren't a huge fan of the much thicker 160 GSM paper. Totally get that. I mean, maybe it's just not your thing. It is my thing because I like to use a lot of color. I like to use a lot of watercolors. I like to use a lot of brush lettering tools, all that kind of stuff. I like to use a lot of that stuff in my bullet journal. So I need that thicker paper because ghosting makes me cringe. But I don't get the Moleskine 1917, the big old fandom loyalist of that brand. Same with the Moleskine. I think it's just because the Moleskine is like the official bullet journal and how it was like meant to be created. It's affiliated with the bullet journaling system from Ryder Carroll. The official bullet journal is a Moleskine, but it says bullet journal on it. So, I mean, maybe it's that. And then Moleskines, I don't know about elsewhere in the world, but Moleskines are pretty widely available in terms of a stationery brand, unlike a lot of others that you mostly have to go online for. So Moleskines actually have like brick and mortar stores. Like I think like that's why my first bullet journal, when I was testing it out to see how like this method would work for me, I got a really cheap one from Target, and it wasn't even like an A5 size. It was like the length of an A size, but the width of like a PP Weeks. So like half of this. So that's what I used to figure out if like it was gonna work for me. And it ended up working for me. And then I ended up, making larger purchases. I do think that if you are going to get a notebook and you are really trying this system out for the first time, get a cheaper version. Moleskines and Moleskines, because of their brand name, are a little bit more expensive. So I think that if you want that same type of quality, get an Exceed from Walmart, or get the Artist Lofts from Michaels, or some other non-name brand if you want to try this system out, if you're not sure how it works from you, because you're paying in part for the name, just like you do with any other big company. So yeah, I don't get it. The second thing is doing the same spreads over and over again. So I am calling myself out a little bit because I do the same cleaning tracker over and over again because I found that's what works. But for me, it just drives me crazy seeing the same setup over and over again. So like if you have the same type of weekly setup where it's 4 boxes and 4 boxes, or all vertical boxes, 6 or 7 in a row, I don't see the point. I mean, I guess that your style alone, you can't find in a planner, like to purchase a planner. But I don't know, it just feels so much like a run-of-the-mill planner when you do a certain style, like it's someone else's thing, not your thing. So for weeklies, it drives me crazy if I use the same type of spread over and over again. Like, I mean, that you may find a spread that works perfectly for you and you don't want to change it up. But for me, that is the beauty of the bullet journaling system, is that you can change it up. So even if you found something that works for you, maybe you might find something that works better. So maybe your life is a little bit too hectic and you don't want to experiment like that. And if you find something that works, you just go with it. And I get that. Whenever I feel stressed, I go back to a horizontal layout. It's just kind of what happens. Or I go back to the running weeklies, the migrating task weeklies. I go back to that over and over again because if it's stressful, I do try to change those though. Like I'll add in, if I'm doing a horizontal weekly, I'll add in something in the middle and do like a design or something like that, just to change it up just a little bit. I don't know, I don't get it, because there's the bullet journaling system is the opportunity to add so much versatility. So doing the same thing over and over again, just, I mean, again, this is an unpopular opinion. If you find what works for you, cool. But for me, in my opinion, is I cannot do the same thing over and over again. So the third one, it kind of goes with that, is dated bullet journals. I don't get it. I'm gonna say that a lot. I have seen people make bullet journals that are essentially planners because they come dated. And I'm not trying to throw any brands under the bus. I mean, I know Archer and Olive made a planner. I know that Amanda Rach Lee made a planner. And I think they're both beautiful planners. But I don't get the concept of someone calling it a bullet journal. And I know neither of those brands do. They both call them planners. I see other people in the world call them bullet journals because they have dotted pages. And for me, that's not what a bullet journal is. A dot grid notebook is not a bullet journal. It's the type of work that you do in a bullet journal that makes it a bullet journal, how you do your tasks and things like that. So I don't know, maybe that's not a popular one. I don't know. The fourth one is index pages. Now, I have used index pages before. In an Archer and Olive, it does not come with an index page. And I, for the life of you, can't understand an index page anymore. I don't need it. I mean, I have things from years ago that I have indexed. I've even looked back in that notebook, but I don't go to the index page at all. I don't go to look. I mean, there are some things that I have done in the past, like I've marked when the beginning of a month is, and I can generally remember like, oh, I did this in this month, and I remember liking this, let me go back to that month, but I won't look at the index page for it. So I don't know, I don't get index pages anymore. Just like I really don't get numbered pages anymore. Archer and Olive doesn't have a number page, and I just didn't find myself missing it at all. I know that is a big hang up for people with Archer and Olive, but I don't need numbers. I mean, maybe it makes me feel better when I do see numbers, but I tried it like in my first bullet journal from Archer and Olive, and I don't need it because I don't need an index and I don't need number pages to put in an index. So again, probably an unpopular opinion. I understand that people might like to index things so that they can reference back. I just don't find myself ever needing that. The fifth one is the biggest pet peeve in the world. It drives me absolutely insane when people use the term OCD about their bullet journals, about their planners. It pisses me off, actually. So this isn't just an unpopular opinion of mine. It makes me so mad. You mean perfectionism. You don't mean OCD. Unless you have been clinically diagnosed as OCD, you do not mean OCD. You mean that you are a perfectionist, which is totally fine. And I know you don't mean to insult anyone or hurt anyone with your words when you claim OCD. It's just something that you throw out there like, oh, I'm OCD about this. No, you're not. You're a perfectionist about this. It just drives me insane because there's already such a stigma in this world about mental health. I myself have been diagnosed with OCD. I do not have the perfectionist type of OCD. There are multiple forms of OCD. It is called obsessive compulsive disorder. It is, you can have obsessions about things, you can have compulsions about things. And I fall into more of the compulsion type situation. So I don't need all of my pens to line up very straight. I don't need my lines to perfectly align with each other. That is not the type of OCD that I have, but it is a reality for other people. So stop using the term. There's already a stigma about it. You don't have it. If you do think you have it, go to a doctor, get diagnosed, use some cognitive behavioral therapy to work around it. That's my feeling. It drives me insane when people do that. Stop using mental illnesses as a throwaway line. Say perfectionism. It's a really simple switch. You don't have to call yourself OCD for it. The sixth one is being afraid to open a bullet journal. And I get this, kind of, but at the same time, you bought a bullet journal to use it. I get being a little bit intimidated or nervous to begin, but people going on the Facebook groups and saying, I'm afraid to open my bullet journal because I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up. I get where you're coming from, but my unpopular opinion, because I'm claiming it's unpopular, although I think that it's not super unpopular, but I just see this thrown around so much in the various Facebook groups that I'm a part of that I feel like it's probably an unpopular opinion. But tear open the book. Just do it. Rip off the Band-Aid. I know it can be intimidating when you see pictures all around and you see people's beautiful bullet journals and you're like, oh, am I ever gonna measure up? Can I ever do this? But you can. You can make it your own. That's the thing about the bullet journal, is it is your own. You don't even have to share it with the world. I chose to share mine with the world because I thought that it would be interesting for people to see how I plan and take inspiration from it. My whole brand is trying to provide inspiration for people on how to use their bullet journals, not to copy mine, but just to put it out in the world so that people can use it for inspiration for their own, they can adapt it for their own things. That's why I started doing the 10 types videos, because I thought, oh, here's 10 types of spreads that I thought about and or have seen on the internet and that I want other people to see so that they can adapt it for their own use. That's why I do it. But don't be afraid to use yours. The whole point of your bullet journal at the end of the day is to be efficient. So don't be afraid to open your bullet journal and make a bad mark in it. If you do, try to laugh at yourself. Try to change it into a flower. You know, if a random dot appears or you have extended the line too far past, oftentimes, I mean, I'm currently in a craft journal, so I can't white it out. White it out or make it into a drawing. That's what I've done multiple times in my craft or my blackout notebooks, just because I don't have anything to use to cover up. I mean, I had a black pen, but for big mistakes, you know, you just kind of roll with it. If you don't like it, glue the pages together. I've done that before. The 7th one is fountain pens. I have tried fountain pens. I've worked with a company that sells fountain pen ink, but I don't get fountain pens. I mean, I think this is part of the reason why some people like Leuchtturm is because they don't feather in those bullet journals, but I don't get fountain pen inks. I mean, I guess it makes it more reusable. That's better for the environment, which, you know, is a goodie for me. But I just don't get fountain pens. I don't really like the feel of a fountain pen. I don't like how it writes. I just don't get it. They're very expensive. I mean, I know you can get the cheaper versions for the cheaper versions, but you can get fountain pens for $20, you know, your Lammies, your Pilot, Metropolitans, things like that. I think you can get those for about $20 and then refill the ink. But it's such a messy process also, and changing out inks it's hard. So I don't know, not my thing. Unpopular opinion. I get it. If you like it, cool. And my last unpopular opinion, which is probably more popular than unpopular, because I think people have really started to band together to try to make this stop. It needs to stop. The minimalist versus artistic hate. I'm over it. I'm so over it. If you want to be a minimalist bullet journal, go for it. Those are beautiful accounts. If you want art in your bullet journal, go for it. Those are beautiful accounts too. Do you, do what makes you happy. There are pages in my spread that are way more minimalist than artistic. That's because that's what works for me for that spread. There are pages that are way more artistic and have no ounce of minimalism in it. I am part of a minimalist bullet journal Facebook group because I take inspiration from that. I find those pages just as beautiful as artistic bullet journaling accounts. There is something so beautiful in the simplicity. And I don't mean simplicity as in not good. I mean simplicity as in just lines on a page, beautiful handwriting on a page. Go for it. I just don't get the hate. I remember when Ryder Carroll's newest book came out, and he literally has a page, or a chapter rather, about creativity in your bullet journal. Because you have to do what works for you. I include art in my bullet journal because that makes me return to my bullet journal, and that makes me be efficient. I really enjoy seeing beautiful things on a page. Sometimes I really enjoy just seeing lines on a page with just an ounce of color. I do kind of have to have color in there. No color gives me a little bit of anxiety. But stop the hate. It's so annoying. I mean, I see in this minimalist bullet journal Facebook group, people saying, I'm so sorry, but there's a little bit of color on this page. I get it. That community is all about minimalism, but why do you need to hate on someone who adds just a little bit of color to their page? It's still minimalist. Why? Why are you trying to make other people feel bad for what works for them? There's no point. Just get along. I think this is something that is just in our culture right now, is this like just split where people need to feel one way or they need to feel the other, and they don't think that there can be a middle ground. There's a middle ground. There's a middle ground. People just be nice to each other. It doesn't matter. It is not affecting you in your life. Them putting some art in their bullet journal doesn't affect you in your life. If you would allow it to affect you, take a look inside and talk to yourself and figure out why it is affecting you that way. Does it make you super intimidated and that makes you scared to work in your bullet journal? Address those feelings. but don't make someone feel bad because they've done art in their bullet journal. When Ryder Carroll's book came out, people literally attacked my friend Haley, and she is a gorgeous artist. She does such beautiful spreads. She uses her bullet journal in both a functional way and a beautiful way with the art that she does. She uses it as a creative outlet. And she got such hateful comments because they're like, this isn't bullet journaling. You know what? It is. There's tasks on a page. She's tracking things. She's doing all the things. Ryder Carroll has things that say, oh, creativity is good, you know? So stop the hate. Stop the hate for minimalism. Stop the hate for adding art. Minimalist accounts are beautiful. Artistic accounts are beautiful. If you're doing both like I am, those are beautiful too. So those are my, 8 unpopular bullet journaling / planning opinions. I would love to have conversations about this in the comments below. Please let me know any of your feelings. If you have unpopular bullet journaling opinions, put that in the comments below, because I would love to have discussions on this so that we can all hash it out and then we can all just get along. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you like it. I hope this is a new type of video for me. I just thought it would be a lot of fun given everything going on in the world. I thought it would just be fun to talk about some crazy things that mean nothing. If you watch Super Carlin Brothers, this is a strong opinion that doesn't matter. 100%, this is a strong opinion that does not matter at all. This video should not affect your life. I just thought it would be fun. So I hope you guys have fun. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more videos about bullet journaling, about creativity, about all the things. So like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, all that kind of jazz. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.